Welcome to another Weigh-In Wednesday video. Say hello to the pups. I am not having the bestest. It's not the worst. I'm just very unmotivated. I feel like I had a rough week. A little over a week. I don't know why it's been so rough for me. I mean, I was menstrual a little bit, but then past that, it's like I just have no motivation for anything. But I have a DEKA today, right now, so I have to go. Not sure how much I'm gonna be able to film because it's just me by my lonesome. Talk more about how I'm feeling, which is not awesome. I know, I feel like all of my videos lately have been like, I suck. But I do. I don't suck, but my motive, yeah, let's just go work out, you know? Let's just go do this dang thing. I'll see ya.
DEKA Strong is a functional fitness test for all levels of fitness. It consists of 10 zones, and you complete the 10 zones as fast as you can. Unlike the DEKA Fit, which I haven't done, and then the DEKA Mile, which I have done one, there is no running or fast walking in my case in the DEKA Strong. It is just the 10 zones. My first DEKA Strong I completed in 38 minutes and 5 seconds. I have a full video on that DEKA, so I will tag it above. I completed this one in December. My last DEKA Strong I completed in 31 minutes and 23 seconds. And it felt very challenging. The sled push was outside and it snowed. I included clips in my last month update. And then I also had put a reel together on Instagram. So if you want to check that out, it's Wake Up Bright on Instagram. And I set a goal of doing it in 28 minutes or less for this time. And I've been really practicing and pushing. And then I just had such a rotten week. So I was so defeated feeling when I woke up and I had to drag myself to the gym. And it's a good thing that I did. Like I said, I had a very rough week that week. I will talk about it more during my month update video, but it was really rough for me and I did not want to go. But when I hit that start line, it took my focus from anything outside of what I was doing. As soon as I started, I zeroed in on moving. I was determined to just keep moving, and that's what I did. And it's really interesting to me how different this time is versus my first time. I've come so far since the beginning, it's unbelievable. It was hard for me to get up and off the couch, literally to stand up from the couch from that seated position was very hard. So many levels of appreciation I have for what I can do at this point, but I'm also so happy that I have progressed just since early December. So the first one that I did was December 5th. And now this was April 30th. And I just did so much better. I felt so good. It felt good the whole way through. The only thing that felt super laggy to me, well, there were two, was the burpees and the bike. And the first time I did it, the bike took me 4.5 minutes. And this time it took me 3, so still longer than it should. But I never stopped using my legs and my arms. And before, I would just use my arms some, and then I would just use my legs some, I was just exhausted. And so it's just coming such a long way. And the other thing I liked with the bike is I stayed kind of at a constant pace, which we'll get to the bike soon. But I loved also having Sandra as my judge. She is just so uplifting and so encouraging, and she stayed with my husband and while he was filming the first one and was cheering for me the whole time. So it was fun to have her cheering for me in this way this time. So it made me very, very happy. The Skierg took me a little longer than I thought it was going to. The act of actually doing the Skierg, it was almost like a minute slower than if I'm just doing this at the gym. So like if I'm doing this in a workout or like doing a set like I've been doing, I think I had hit a kind of a wall. And then so you go from the Skierg to the farmer's carry, and then from the farmer's carry to the bike. And so I think a point for me to work on is in that pacing myself is to do those in sequentially so that I'm used to that workload. And then from there you do the dead ball, the sled push, and then the burpees. And so it's a lot of tougher movements kind of all there together. So, but I was so proud of myself with the farmer's carry. I did end up setting the weights down, but it wasn't until the 4th round, and before it was every round. So when I first started, every up and back, I set the weights down. And even as recent as the last time I did it, I think I only could do 2 without like needing to adjust my grip or my hands just hurting. And so I'm very happy that I was able to do that. I honestly feel like I did not have to set them down when I did. So next time my goal is to not set those things down at all. Not set them down. And then to also go harder on the bike. So I'm going to be practicing the bike. And the next time I do a DEKA will probably be early June, sometime in June for sure. There's several of them in our area. So June, it's on. It's going to happen. And here you can see me with my feet up. You can watch the full DEKA video. I don't know if I included the footage of me with my legs up, or if I don't remember. I haven't watched that video in a long time, like since I edited it. So I have to go back and check that out. Also, the first time I was so slow because I did it in 38 minutes. The person they started after me caught me. She caught and passed me, actually. So they switched. Instead of doing the sled push and then the burpees, the first time I did it, I had to do the burpees and then I did the sled push. So it was not my favorite moment when that happened. It was not my favorite moment at all. But this time I said I wouldn't say average, but it's getting close to just an average pace for somebody doing DEKA. So Sandra, she's a coach at iFit, so where I work out, and then she's my judge here. She did it in 23 minutes. So, and you guys will find out very soon how fast I did it. So Sandra did it in a little over 23 minutes, and she's a fitness instructor. That's her career. Now, I do want to say I am not comparing myself to Sandra in the sense of me getting value out of doing a DEKA. And I don't think that she would look at my time in comparison to hers ever. Like, she very much is doing her best for her, and I am competing with myself and what I was doing. I just wanted to frame that I'm getting close to like a decent time, not necessarily a competitive time, but like just a good time for someone who works out a lot. And that makes me really, really happy. I have to say, at this point, I knew I was going to get a good time, and I was trying to like still pace myself, like temper myself just a little bit. And I kind of, if I could go back, I'd be like, don't do it. Don't do it. Now, the thing that I like about what I did is that I was very even paced on the different events at the end. So like the sled, I didn't have some that I did really fast and then some that I did slow, or the farmer's carry, I didn't do some fast and then some slow. The burpees, I was very consistent with keeping a pace. So I'm really excited to see what the next DEKA brings, what the next 5 months brings, like how much further I'll be. and how much better I'll be.
It's a video. Yeah.
So I am home. I am so happy. I am so happy. I cannot believe that so I had such a bad attitude this morning. I did not want to go. I've had not the greatest week it's been a rough week. The roughest in a long time for various reasons. And I woke up and I didn't want to go. Like really hardcore talking myself out of going. And then I got there and they weren't really in a hurry to have people like go. Sometimes when you go, it's like when your heat starts, like that you signed up for, you have to go. Well, they weren't really pushing super hard. So I was just kind of like, I was dreading it. So I was like talking to people and I was like, I don't want to do it in my head. And then I finally got up to the start line and I did it. And I pushed harder than I thought I could. And I cannot believe that I improved my time so much. Almost 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 50 seconds improvement. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy. And someone saw me and asked if I needed, they're like, where's your husband? Do you need help filming? And they filmed. So you guys got to see part of it, which I didn't think was going to happen. That was so sweet and kind of her to offer. And I'm so, I'm so happy. I cannot believe that I improved so much. It just makes me feel so good. It makes me feel so good. Hello, beautiful people. So it has been a couple days and I had such a rough week. I was so off track. I'll go into more detail about things when I do my month update. I'm just recapping the month because it was like a series of things that happened and I was in I had a bad week. It's probably one of the worst weeks. There was no like big disaster. I'm okay now and I think I owe a lot of that to DEKA. I was in such a self-destructive mode, and that morning it came to a head and I was laying in bed. I needed to wake up and get ready and I was like, I'm just not gonna go. And then I'm like, no, get your, up and get out the door. And so then I did. And then even once I got there, it took me a minute to get the courage to start. I just knew that I was gonna be slower than I was the last time I did it. I was so negative. Sometimes I'm just so mean to myself. And being happy, proud, excited, all of the things that I share so often, it takes work for me to choose that, to choose to be positive. It takes work for me to ignore the negative. And it's not really that I ignore the negative, but a lot of times the negative things that I say to myself are not true. And so, when I was laying there, if I would have given into that voice, who knows where I would be today. but I didn't give in to that voice. I mean, that voice all the way there, I got there and I'm like, you know, I should just go home. You should just go home. This is gonna be terrible and you're terrible and everything's terrible. Like, that's the mood I was in. And that mood always is accompanied with hormones for me. So I know things like that are going to happen at certain periods. But neither here nor there. The weigh-in Wednesday. It is time for the weigh-in Wednesday portion of this video. This week, I do not know how I lost weight. And again, we'll go into more detail in the month update, but I am down. So I'm at 263.9 pounds, so a little over a pound down, and I'm just grateful. I really could care less about the small amount of weight that I've lost. And I know, like, last week I was all like, I just want to like lose it all. And I feel like when I get in that mindset, it doesn't ever work out when I start being extreme and wanting what I don't have in a way that I value what I don't have more than what I have. Meaning, like, the future is unknown, and when I start taking the now for granted, it just never goes my way. When I'm grateful for today and I live the best day that I can, it makes a better tomorrow. That's what I believe for myself, at least that's true. So I had such a high leaving the gym. Like, that high, it catapulted me forward. It wasn't like an external motivation, it was the proof of progress. Like, going from 31.23 to putting in the work. Like, I have been working to improve that time. I had a bad week, but I have been consistently working on that. I've been consistently working over a period of time, and I had one mess up. One mess up is not going to wreck your world. It's not going to end your progress. And I think so often when we're on a good streak, we let like one bad thing destroy, like knock us off the hill. Like, that's the story of every bad cycle, diet cycle that I've ever been in, where I'm like, I'm doing so great, and then one thing happens and then it snowballs very, very quickly, and then I'm heavier than I was when I started. And I'm so grateful. I've had some challenges and I feel like I pushed through, and having DEKA help me push through, so needed. It was such a win. Improving my time by almost 5 minutes was such a win. And it's not even just 5 minutes. So my first one was a little over 38. And so 38 to 26, so like almost 12 minutes. Is that right? A lot of minutes. My time improved a lot since December, and almost half of that time was just the past month and a half of me putting in the work to improve my endurance. And I'm so grateful. I think increasing, like, there's just so many things that have helped with that. The community at iFit is just special. I mean, each place that I go to has something special about it, except for you. Everywhere else has something, and it has its own specialness. But I'm so grateful for the people at iFit. And like, I got so lucky. One of the girls that trains, so she does one-on-one training with Yeniz, she was there, and she wasn't even doing the DEKA. And she asked me, she's like, would you like for me to film? She saw me, like, I was gonna prop my camera up and angle it and then just do a time lapse. And I'm like, if I get good stuff, I get good stuff. If you can't see me or it doesn't make any sense, then that's fine too. So that's what I had decided I was gonna do, with a very bad attitude, because I was kind of in a bad spot. And then she asked, and it was so awesome that she asked. and that she was willing to help. And so she filmed everything. So thank you if you're watching, probably not, but I'm very grateful for you. Met this lady who's doing the tank right now. I met her at one of the DEKA Strongs that we've done this year, and she is amazing. So she's like top 20 in the country, and she's lost, I think she said she lost over 100 pounds, but she's just very inspiring. And so I just wanted to give her a shout out. And then Jenny, you guys have seen before, I think. Maybe you have, maybe you're new to my channel, but Jenny is like a beast at Spartan. She does like ninja competitions, so she's the judge with Joy. And I also wanted to share a little bit from Sandra's run. She did so great, and she was in my first DEKA Strong video, so definitely check it out, and I'll link everybody's Instagrams too down below. And yeah, love this. I love the DEKA community. I love iFit, and I'm just very grateful. Fitness is such a good motivator and measure for progress. Like doing active things, it just shows me how far I've come, and that it strengthens my resolve to move forward, and I'm very grateful for that. All right, beautiful people, this is gonna wrap up today's video. I am so grateful for each and every one of you, and I've been thinking a lot this week of, maybe you guys have seen it on Instagram, there's like a reel sound, you know, they're like sounds kind of like on TikTok, where you can like use the sound or whatever, but it's Tom Hanks, and he's like talking in a circle, so it's probably from some kind of group interview or something. Tom Hanks is like, I wish if I could tell my younger self one thing, it's this too shall pass. And I've been thinking about that so much, like whether it's good or bad, you feel lost, you feel found, whatever it is, like our feelings are fleeting and they change. And even whatever it is that we're going through, so feelings aside, just the circumstances that you're faced with today, it's going to pass. So we have to seize the opportunity, if it's good, to live it fully and love it. And if it's a painful or hard time, we just have to endure and last. We have to outlast those moments, because it gets better, it gets brighter. No matter what's happened, time presses on, and it takes us with it. So I feel like that was not the best, most motivationally, but I definitely needed that. That week was dark, and in those places, it never feels like it's going to pass. It feels like it always is, and that I think the danger is, when in moments like that for me, I start to believe that voice that tells me I'm not enough. Like that, it's, you know, I think they have terms for it now, imposter syndrome and all of that. But I'm gonna end this video here. There's going to be a month update. I'm gonna have a lot of like overview of the month of April in that month update video. This coming Friday will be a meal prep video, and I'm pretty sure every Friday for the next while it's going to be meal prep. So if you want to meal prep with me, let's do it. I love you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you on Friday.